ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another one-off little mini-series thing. This time, instead of Caves of Cud, we are playing The Consuming Shadow by Ben Yahtzee Croshaw. Yeah, that Yahtzee. He makes games. I don't know if you knew that. He's actually made quite a few games. Most of them, I think, have been in Adventure Game Studio, which I've had a bash at myself in the past and not managed to accomplish much with it, but hey. Yeah, he made a new game called The Consuming Shadow. It very recently came out. It's available from the website for it for about $9 or something like that. Pretty cheap. Pretty cool little survival horror game. It's not survival horror in the sense that it's come to mean in terms of games like Amnesia or Outlast or stuff like that. It's a bit more Silent Hill-ish, and I say that as someone who has never actually played a Silent Hill game, but I have a general idea of what I think they're like. Not for lack of wanting to. It's just because I didn't have a PS2 or a PlayStation 1 back in the day, and therefore never played them. So anyway, I'm going to start a new game. I'm using a 360 pad to play this game. You can play it with a mouse and keyboard as well, but I'm just playing it with a 360 pad because I don't really know. I have one, and whenever I've got the option to use one, I tend to use them, and as long as the game doesn't involve aiming at shit, I'm usually fine. So anyway, I've played the game a bit myself already, so things are going to look a bit different to when you first start up the game if you decide to get it for yourselves. At the minute, I have a choice of 2 characters here. You unlock more characters. I recently unlocked one, which was this guy. I'm going to play as the Scholar, though, just because that's the default character. He starts with a car, a gun, and 60 hours to save the world. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I've also got... these are sort of collectibles you get in the game. Diary entries and files on different types of enemies in the game. And the more you encounter them, the more of the pages get decoded about them, and so on and so forth, in case you were wondering what those actually were. Anyway, so here we are. Terrifying visions of the ancients swim through my mind, combined with visions of Stonehenge. I estimate 3 days before the barrier breaks down and one of them invades. I know what I must do. Explore places touched by the ancients, assembling clues to piece together the banishment ritual and the identity of the invading god. But I'm not sure how I know this. I have the strangest feeling it might be because I've already done it. Yeah, this game has a sort of a weird kind of multiple realities, alternate dimensions, parallel universes kind of a thing going on. The idea being that pretty much every time you've played the game and failed, it's because that's a different version in a different parallel universe, having attempted to save the world and failed, or succeeded, as the case may be. Oh yeah, and we have a button, which is kill myself, which I find kind of amusing. We have an option before everything's even started to kill ourselves, and you can tap buttons to get out of it. So anyway, yeah, so Shadow's trying to enter the world. Yeah, that's basically the plot. Some ancient god of some description is trying to enter our universe, and we've got to stop it. By going to Stonehenge and performing a ritual to prevent it happening. However, we don't know which god it is that's trying to enter our world. We don't know what the ritual to banish them is or anything like that. So, yeah. Let's begin journey. Oh, yes, and I can choose star sign thingies to increase my stats. Again, this is something you unlock as you play the game and inevitably fail at it. I've never once finished the game successfully. I've died many times. But in so doing, I've sort of leveled up, so to speak, and I've unlocked star signs and shit, which have different effects, as you can see here when I move my cursor over them. That's. Oh, and I think it seems to change every time as well, because this is the night sky of September the 23rd, 2012, which is different to what I had last time, I think. I think what I want is lots of health and sanity, mostly. To be honest, it's probably what I'm after. Probably the most important stats from what I've played so far. That'll do. Anything over here? The lion. That gives me lots of sanity. And one more birth star. Could have an extra shitload of sanity, or research, or yeah. So again, that's research is how quickly you decode those bits of information about the various monsters. Again, I think the idea being that even if you fail at the game, you failed to stop the ancient god coming through. You learn more about the things, which then helps your alter egos in various parallel universes and stuff combat them, or something. I don't know really, but you know. Medkit capacity could be good, but I'm just going to go with more health, I think, because that's what's tripped me up the last few times. It's mostly just been... There we go. It's mostly just been me running out of health. Okay, we're in our car. It's 10 AM. It's very foggy out there. We're driving along. We've got a text from the Ministry of Occultism. You can find the information you need in towns tainted by the shadow. You might make some immediate headway if you went to Hobbleton. Right, cool. We got all our shit over here. We got a med kit, which we can use to restore our health. Notes. My studies have shown that there are 3 distinct ancient ones currently active. One of them is trying to break through into our realm, the one I must banish. A second is assisting them. A third ancient one, for ineffable reasons of their own, is working against them. Attempting to banish the wrong god would be disastrous. I must gather clues and identify my enemy. Okay, so there you go. Yeah, that's what we got to do. We've got to go gather clues. We've got a table here. There are 3 gods, as it said. We know nothing about them for now, but as we uncover more information, we can actually put it into this table here to help us figure shit out, basically. It's a pretty neat addition, honestly, because otherwise you would have to probably draw this yourself on a piece of paper, just to make sense of it all. So yeah, it's a neat addition. Yeah, we got spells. We got to find the banishment ritual, which consists of 4 runes, or whatever you call them, in a certain order. We don't know any of them yet. And we can also learn minor spells, which we can use in dungeons. And we have equipment as well, including our ammunition, because we have a pistol with various types of ammunition for it. And we can inject ourselves with illegal drugs to temporarily restore our sanity. Drugs are not quite as bad, okay, in this game. Because there are things, bigger, nastier things to worry about, frankly. So yeah, here we are in our car. We've got our map. We've got our GPS, sat-nav, whatchamacallit. And we're driving along. Probably tuning into Radio 4 to, in some vain attempt to listen to the news and feel like we're actually paying attention to, you know, events in the world. And then eventually we get bored and switch it over to 6 Music, and then we get all kind of annoyed because the guy, the DJ on at the time, happens to be a complete asshole and not our favourite one, but we can't do anything about it. So, okay, we've arrived at Hobbleton. You've received a text from the Ministry of Occultism. I have some intel that urgently needs to get to Kidchester within 11 hours. I don't know why I got 10 from there. You don't have to help out, but these things escalate quickly. Here we are, now entering Hobbleton. I was mistaken, we hadn't actually arrived yet. So anyway, yeah, we're here. We've got £15 of cash. We've got nearly 100 health, which isn't bad, and 74 sanity. Enter the tower. Ooh, if I can get the controls to work properly. I am immediately suspicious of the geniality of the people of this town. The people of this town display. They smile but rarely blink and invite me to some private meeting place within minutes of conversation. When pressed, the apparently unaffected people mutter disquieting stories of friends and loved ones returning from meetings with changed personalities. I hear disquieting tales of physical transformations concealed behind clothing and cosmetics. I am convinced that a dark power operates beneath the surface, infecting bodies and minds wherever its oily tendrils settle. Yeah, I was about to say there before this popped up. If I had one complaint about this game, it's probably that the controls are pretty fucking janky. I admittedly haven't tried playing it with mouse and keyboard, but on the gamepad it's certainly a bit awkward. But anyway, investigate further. A small amount of surveillance has revealed a pattern to the behaviour of the possessed townspeople. I frequently see them coming and going from an ornamental public park that forms the town's centrepiece. The park is severely overgrown, perhaps deliberately, so it is unclear what happens to the people who go in there. The only way to find out is to mount what may turn into a jungle expedition. Investigate further. And now we're in a quote-unquote dungeon. And, as you can see, there's a timer at the top of the screen. That is how many hours we've got left until the ancient god comes in and shreks all of our shit. And yeah, we're going to plod on through this place. There are different kinds of dungeons. I think we're in a sort of garden type thing here for the moment. And in these we will have objectives to accomplish, and also we'll have, you know, clues to pick up and that sort of thing. The EU rune has been inscribed on the wall here in this in orange, upside down. This means it is intended as a curse to the god that associates with the rune. So we don't know which god associates with that rune, so that info is meaningless to us. Okay, we've got a dead person. There's a corpse here. Something must have torn their bowels and lower torso apart in a state of animalistic frenzy. Oh, charming. Yeah, so, this is kind of what it's like. It has this, like I said, it's sort of slightly Silent Hill-esque in terms of survival horror. It doesn't really have jump scares and shit, yet it still manages to be kind of creepy in an entirely different way, which I really quite like, because I have issues with amnesia-style scary jump scary games, because I never finish them, essentially, because I get too fucking terrified. I admitted it, I'm a complete wuss. I get too terrified and I never finish them. But this kind of slightly more cerebral approach to horror is pretty cool. I found something that looks like a page torn from a diary. Maybe I'll have time to read it once my mission is over. Yeah, we've got another diary page. Oh! That was a monster. I'm sure what... I can never remember what any of the monsters' names are, but to be honest with you, I think I know what some of them are, but I can't remember what that one was. In a pile of useless metal implements, I found a small tool that could function as a lockpick. We've gained a lockpick. Great. And we have to back out of this area now because there's no other way past. So let's continue this way. What's lurking in here? Yeah, it's a thing. I can... Bloody hell. That one took some killing. Yeah, I can melee attack stuff like that. I can pistol whip him. It's obviously not nearly as effective. The god of disease has no particular interest in our realm. It seems to consider us unworthy of any action, good or bad, insofar as we can understand the motivations of such a creature. So there we go. The god of disease is not the invading god. So at least one of these we can now put in aspect disease. We'll make him god 1 for now. Unless there's any more loot to be found, I can safely call this operation complete. Time to go. Right, yeah. This was pretty straightforward, to be fair, but I probably didn't need to waste my ammo on that. Those guys are pretty easy to kill, to be fair, but never mind. Some kind of survivalist cache here containing 2 hollow point bullets. If I've learned anything from my brief attempts at playing this game so far, it is that you shouldn't be stingy with ammo, because it, in the long run, tends to work out better that way. Initially, when I first started playing this game, I kept trying to pistol whip everything to save ammo, but... Oh, Christ. It usually just ended up with me taking lots of health damage and dying very early on. Found a very old 9mm ammunition box with 3 bullets. Okay. So you get hollow point rounds, you get standard rounds, and you get armor-piercing ones. I don't really know to be honest with you, I don't really know what the difference is, other than I think... Anxiety seems to be getting the better of me. I feel hot and nauseous and my hands won't stop shaking. Obviously, hopefully it will pass. So yeah, we have a sanity bar as well as health in this. Let's just get out of here. We're done here, I think. And the more insane we get, it has effects on the gameplay, and quite disturbing ones, to be fair. It's one of the best bits of this game, to be honest with you. Return to the car. Okay. The townsfolk are not immediately better off with the extermination of the creature behind their enslavement. There have been several murders and suicides already as the memories of their actions return. The best thing I can do for them now is to leave them to heal. So, okay, we've quote-unquote fixed Hobbleton. I'm going to use my health kit. There is no reason you should not immediately use your health kit, really, when you get back in the car, as far as I can tell. But as you can see, 32% supplies left, which means I really need to get to a friendly town at some point and visit a hospital so I can restock my first aid kit. But we want to go to Kidchester because of something. I can't remember. We got a text message about something. I don't know if there's a way to view previous text messages in this game, but it would be nice if there was, because I've already forgotten what I was supposed to be doing. You've received a text from a family member. Open. I don't know where you are or what you're doing, but I know it's important to you. I wired you £6 from our savings. I hope it helps. A whole £6. Cheers. Thanks a bunch. You reached your destination, Fawley. Enter the town. It doesn't look friendly because it's all green. I feel a crackling in the depths of my inner ears and the backs of my palms itching, all of which indicates the presence of magical energy. There is great concentration of it that hasn't had time to disperse. This town must be home to a rift. One of the tears in the fabric of our universe through which bleeds the dark influence of realms beyond. If I can find it, then I can use the same magic it spews to seal it closed. Isolating the rough location of the rift was the easy part. It's just a matter of finding enough slivers, traces, and reported monster sightings to track back to their point of origin. A simple set of divinations leads me to an unassuming brick building, part of an ancient terrace of condemned houses. When I open the door to enter, the blast of escaping magical energy almost throws me off my feet. Before we investigate further, I'm going to pause the video and just make sure that the game's actually recording properly, because I've been here for nearly a quarter of an hour now. And it would be very, very daft of me if I was literally just recording my opposite desktop background on my monitor or something. It's happened before, trust me. Okay, folks, looks like we're good. I have not fucked up this time, as I often do, so let's investigate further. Casting magic has its difficulties, but tracing it is straightforward enough. Just isolate the strands of magical energy, the appearances of otherworldly creatures, then triangulate the point they are all moving away from. One brief touch of a particularly active ley line indicates an unassuming brick building, part of an ancient terrace of condemned houses. When I open the door to enter, the blast was... Yeah. I should point out I'm really shit at reading aloud, so this, of all games, is probably not a good one for me to fucking play, if I'm honest, because I constantly fumble whenever I try to read stuff out loud. You guys who have been watching my channel for a while will be quite familiar with this, but I love reading in games. I honestly, a lot of people get very funny about it, saying like they won't play a game if it's not voice acted and that kind of thing. I don't give a shit. Sometimes I actually prefer reading to voice acting. However, I'm really shit at reading it out when I'm recording it. In the language of the ancients, the name of Yushg, whatever, is often identified with a symbol resembling a stick man with their head and one arm missing. Yushg is identified with the Kuz rune. So we know that there's one of the gods is Yushg now, and he's represented with the Kuz. Is that it? The Kuz rune. He could be the one he could be the disease god. We don't know. I'm putting him down here for now, but we can move it up there if necessary. But he's at least one of the gods involved. Yeah, it is the Kuz rune. So let's keep exploring. In the language of the ancients, the syllable "ear" is usually given as a name, but has also variously been written to denote the concepts of illness, infection, and deformity. The rune "ear" is associated with the concept of disease. That probably means it's the disease god's rune. EU. European Union, often associated with disease in this particular universe. Yeah. God damn it. Okay. We're still on full health. I wasn't doing too badly there. Let's go this way. Out of ammo now, though, so I should probably switch to the hollow points. I don't really know what we need hollow points for. I know that you need armor-piercing rounds to kill some particular creatures. Hollow points just probably do more damage, I think. Yeah, they do. See, I killed him in one hit there. 24% chance to pick the lock. Sod it. I'll go find the keys. There's usually some keys around. I found a discarded wallet containing £2! I found a set of keys. There we go. Told you. Okay. Well, let's have a look-see, shall we? Oh, it's a rift. Okay, what runes? What runes? What runes? Okay, it's the upside down Y and the circle. There you go. I casted a spell and I dispelled the rift before anything jumped out of it to try and kill me, which is always nice. Our recording device picked up the chanting of some kind of mantra intended to ward off evil, but it was hard to make out. But the last part definitely sounded like ear. There's nothing of importance left to do in this place. The longer I stay, the more time I lose. This is very true. We have to manage the fact that we're losing time with the fact that we need to find more clues and items and things. It's sort of... I think I watched a video briefly that... Oh god! I freaking hate these things. Oh... This way. Yeah, we need to get out of here because we're being hunted by a ghost. Essentially, that is what is happening, and every time fuck. Yeah, leaving the room with monsters still alive in it reduces my sanity, which is annoying. Because you can't really stick around and fight them when there's a ghost hunting you down. Return to the car, yes. Town is not immediately improved, but any more than a flood zone would be, simply because the rain had stopped, but my contribution is made. Time to move on. And crucially, we've got a word for the ritual. So let me just use the rest of my supplies. Notes. Yeah, it's not. It's in here. Yeah, okay, the last syllable of the ritual thing is U. Cool. So now I want to go to Kidchester, because we've got a mission for there. I'm forced to stop as I drive through a small hamlet by a barricade of people in the road. Men, women and children standing and moving in front of the car, hands joined, their eyes are blank and glassy. A case of mass possession, perhaps, but I have to get past them somehow. We can get out and confront them, plow through them. Use the pentagram necklace. We don't. If we had a pentagram necklace, we could use that, but we don't, so... Plow through them. I attempt to ram my way through the possessed townsfolk, but I underestimated their numbers. Something gets caught in my wheel arches. Several of the stronger men grab the bumper and lift the rear wheels off the ground. The next thing I know, after something grabbing me through the driver's side window, is waking up in an unfamiliar surrounding, strangely uninjured. I must find my way back to a road. Objective escape. Oh, great. Well, this has never happened to me before. The T rune has been inscribed on the wall here in yellow. A generic prayer to a generic... not a generic god. A generic prayer to a god. Not necessarily the god perverting this place. It could be intended for an associated deity. By the way, if I have somehow neglected to mention this like a dumbass, as I usually tend to do, this game is all randomly generated. It's procedurally generated. Every time you play it is different. The gods are different. The invading god is different. And so on and so on. You get different random events like this one, which I've never gotten before. I hope I still have a car after this, because otherwise this is probably going to get quite difficult. Is this the way out? Return to the car. Not yet, actually. As stupid as it may sound, I'm going to poke around here and see what I can find. Oh, a fucking cultist magician guy. Okay, awesome. I don't have any armor-piercing bullets, so I can't actually fight that guy. And you know what? Screw it. Car is waiting for me just outside. I don't know if they intended to use it or thought there was something important inside it, but I'm not about to question Providence. Thank God for that. We've been taken to Wales. Wow, okay. Let's go to Watergate. I could be wrong, but I think the place names are randomly generated as well, because Finsmouth down there on the right-hand side is approximately where Norwich should be, but... yeah. Anyway. Yes, Watergate and drive. Received a text from the Ministry of Occultism. Losing 1 or 2 hours won't seem like much, but when there are 60 left, but if you're careful with your time now, then you won't have to be later. Fair enough. Watergate. Okay. Enter the town. Calm and peaceful, oblivious of the shadow, my heart feels pained and heavy as I'm confronted by what we stand to lose if I fail in my mission. Find supplies, yeah. Found the following items on sale from individuals content not to ask questions. This is kind of expensive. A military flashlight would be good. At least a couple of armor-piercing bullets would be nice. So I don't have to run away like a little girl every time I run into a cultist. And I don't think I actually have enough money now to replenish my supplies. If I recall, yeah, I needed 15 quid for that. So that was kind of stupid of me, but never mind. Set destination. Let's go to Saxport, I suppose, or Aldborough. Saxport. $51 hours left. 9 hours of our 10 hours of our total gone. We've reached your destination. Into town. Okay, the town is suffering under an infestation of small scuttling creatures, too large to be rats, not to mention too aggressive and too organised. It is clear that this is only the beginning of something terrible. It starts with petty nuisances, killing pets and ruining crops, and sooner or later it escalates to missing people being found half devoured. I must root out the nest before it reaches that point. Local council have already mounted a hunt for the origin of the creatures and claim to have looked everywhere and found nothing. From this I deduced that the nest is somewhere the council prefers not to talk about. I found what I was looking for in a slum district, inhabited by homeless people and street prostitutes, all of whom were giving wide berth to a particular abandoned tenement building thought to be haunted. Oh great, more abandoned tenement buildings. Glorious. I'd like an office block. They have lots of clues in them. One hollow point round, 2 armor piercing. Well, I could have been better equipped for this, that's for sure. Jesus. I have found 3 unfired hollow point bullets that appear to have been hastily concealed here. Awesome, that's good. That's actually really good. And I'm not going to even try lockpicking that. Nothing here, okay. I found a discarded wallet containing £4. Awesome. Right. Found 2 armor-piercing bullets, perhaps left over from some kind of police operation. Okay. The U rune has been inscribed on the wall here in purple, a generic prayer to a god, not necessarily the god that prevented blah 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 blah. Locked door. I can see this on my map. I don't know why I have to run over to it and inspect it like a fool. Since it's not necessary, that is another... Yep. Purple rune. Which means I think if I had to guess, one of the god's colours is purple. I just don't know which one, obviously. What's this? A single diary page has been stuck here. At least I'll have something to read when this is over. Yeah, another diary page. I don't know if I'll bother to read the diary entries between between videos, just because I suck at reading aloud, but if you want to see me read them, I can, I guess. Just say so in the comments. I've an ancient 9mm pistol with 3 usable bullets in the clip. Hey, sweet, okay. Okay, the ammo situation's not quite so terrible now. Yeah, Christ. Okay, this is... Important part of the banishment mantra is to incant the rune of the creature you intend to banish as the first syllable of the mantra. Note, be very certain you have the right rune. There's nothing of importance left to do in this place. The longer I stay, the more time I lose. Updated ritual. Return to the car. Now, I can at any time just go press the start menu and then hit escape dungeon, which will teleport me right out of the dungeon from wherever I am. However, it takes an hour to do that. You lose an hour because presumably you're very carefully sneaking out as opposed to just blasting your way through. So, you know, if I was on really, really low health and at the end of the dungeon, I might trade an hour of time for being able to get out alive. But right now, I might as well just walk out because I'm not in a completely terrible state at the moment. Come here, you. Obviously, even though I'm on my way out, I want to kill these guys if I can, because that way I won't lose sanity when I leave the room. I'm not sure how much sense that mechanic makes, but I appreciate it that it's there. Okay. Come here. Stupid. I hate those things so much. Least favourite enemy in the game by far. What a weird way of describing it. Least favourite enemy. No magic wand has been waved over the town to remove the taint of the shadow, but with the infestation removed, it is certainly quieter. I make my way back to the car, hoping what remnant of this town's population survives will get back on their feet. Okay, so let me have a look at this then. Okay, so I've never got this before, but the first rune of the banishment ritual is actually the rune associated with the god in question. Previously, I've only ever just got specific runes, like we've already got EU there. So that's interesting, which means that we are going to have to find out which invading god it is. Obviously, we'd have to do that anyway. But we need to find out for sure what his rune is too. Luckily, we've already got 2 of 3. So... But yeah, we need to find out what his rune is, and remember what his fucking rune is, so we can recite it with the banishment ritual, if we make it that far, which I'm fairly sure I won't, to be honest. Yeah, supplies depleted. Okay, set destination. Göring! Hermann Göring. Let's go. There's fighting on the streets of Watergate. They could use some hands-on assistance. I just came from there, damn it. Do it or don't, but if you don't, the town won't be safe for long. Text from an unknown number. Hi, I don't know you. A dream told me that I should help you. I've sent you 7 quid. I hope that's enough. Okay. Kidchester has fallen to the shadow. You wouldn't happen to know anything about that, would you? Yeah, that was... I think we had a mission to do there, and obviously because we never got around to doing it, the place fell to the shadow or whatever. But there's nothing I could do because we got fucking transported to Wales. We've reached our destination. Enter the town. I could do with a friendly town, right? Thank God. Yeah. Calm and peaceful. Blah blah blah. Visit the hospital. Refill medkits. Back to town. I'm debating whether or not to use the medkit now. Back in the car, then come and get another refill, but I can't actually afford to get another refill, so sod it. So should I use a bit of it? Yeah, I should definitely use a bit of it now. It's a no-brainer, really, to be honest with you. Alright. So we got another mission back in Watergate. We could do with the money, so I'm gonna do it. But we need to go through here first, so... Happened upon a small country church where a number of locals have taken shelter from the indistinct words drifting out of the entrance doors. It sounds like some kind of sermon is taking place. I'm finding the prospect of peaceable human contact extremely enticing. Come in and listen. Oh god, alright then. Should have realised the moment I entered the room this was no gentle... I fucking knew it! I knew this was going to happen. This was no gentle Christian sermon, but an attempt to appease one of the loathsome beings that torment our world. I should have recognised the symbol on the altar. As the priest's talk turned to the most hideous blasphemy, I finally became aware of the suspicious glances I'd been earning since my arrival. When I rose to leave, the sermon stopped. Other people stood. Something grabbed me around the arm, and that was the last thing I remember. They left me my watch. So I know how much time has passed, but I don't know where I am. Oh, great! Again! Really? We're just making a really bad habit of getting kidnapped by fucking cultists. Jesus. At least they didn't take my ammunition. Well, they might have taken some of it, I don't know. There is a corpse here. The poor wretch's limbs have been broken and twisted into hideous angles. It must have been a painful end. Charming. The animosity is rooted in the suffering reportedly endured by a worshipper of Cthoth while captured by the cult of Biala. Biala worshippers seem to tell the story the other way around. Cthoth appears to be the enemy of Biala. So those are our three gods then, essentially. We have Cthoth, Biala, and Yushk. Now, I don't know which way around these two need to go. In fact, I don't know. I'm not entirely sure which way around any of them need to go, but I know that those are the three gods. We'll figure everything out later. Okay. Now we're in an office block, which, as far as I'm aware... Oh, Christ! Whew, there we go. Now, if I had to guess, I'd say one of the god's colours is yellow, because he had a yellow thingy around him. I think it corresponds. So... Anyway, yeah, office blocks like this tend to have a lot of filing cabinets in them. Oh, God. Now, what that was a fake. That was a sort of fake phantom that I shot at like a noob. And then the other one was a real one. The Bati rune has been inscribed here on the wall in yellow. Yeah, whatever this place is, it seems to be the yellow guys. Sort of domain. For sure. This is probably the way out over here, actually. It is, yes. We've reached the exit. There's a thing here, though. Yep, hello. Son of a bitch. Anxiety seems to be getting the better of me. I feel hot and nauseous and my hands won't stop shaking. Yeah, awesome. Got some 9mm ammo, though. On the bright side. And I want to go back in. I don't want to waste the opportunity to loot an office block. Friggin' nasty son of a... There we go. Ah, yeah, we already went through that one. We're a little low on clues at the minute, you see. So, oh, these also here. These bodies also give clues to what gods are involved. This guy, for example, his body appears unharmed, but the face is contorted into a silent scream of agony. So, if I had to guess, I'd say these yellow cultists worship a god of pain. Because we found another mangled one, didn't we, that was all sort of... Oh, God! Oof. Getting all my buttons mixed up there. Hollow point bullets, nice. Yeah, we found one that was also mangled into a sort of horrifically painful pose or something, didn't we? I think we've explored everything here, haven't we? No, there's one room left, but sod it, frankly. Turn to the car. Yep, something spawned in behind us there. Pretty sure I could hear it. Again, they've conveniently left my colour outside for me. Thank you, cultists. And we've got a status effect there at the top of the screen. I'm just not entirely sure what it is, because there doesn't seem to be a way to actually mouse over it somehow and find out what it is. But we have a status effect. And we could do with more supplies. Oh, great. Yeah, now we're even further away from Watergate. Oh, fucking god. Christ. Alright, let's go back to Goring, I suppose. And then from Goring we can maybe get to Aldborough, and then I don't know. There's more places to explore from. Well, I don't know. Maybe we could go up to. I could probably weather another dungeon if necessary, so let's do that. I need a bit more cash anyway to replenish my supplies. So. You received a text from the Ministry of Occultism. Have I indeed? Clues go into your notebook, but sorting them is your responsibility. You may want to make use of a table to keep track of it all. Yep. Stone's Hope. Okay. Just checking how long I've been recording for. About 40 minutes or so. Alright then, yeah, I guess I'm going to call into the video here. Thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen. This has been The Consuming Shadow. And next time, on the next video, we will find out what lies beyond this fog in the town of Stone's Hope. So, yes, join me for that, if you want to, or don't. It's up to you. And I will see you next time, regardless.